Hello, my friends. This is Karina from KarinaWisdom.com, back with day 90 of the journey. Can you believe it? 10 more days to go. And how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling really excited. I'm looking forward to taking this project, this challenge to the next level after the end of my 100 days. And even though it's not generating the results that I expected, I was actually introduced to a new possibility that made me look at this 100-day challenge in a completely different light. Think about something that you have set out to achieve, whether it's a challenge, a goal, a target, a dream. And the end result did not look exactly as you wanted it to. Maybe not even close to what you had originally planned, hoped, or dreamed for. How did that make you feel? I know it is so tempting to be pulled into that deep pool of disappointment and feeling discouraged and giving up, until I was introduced to a new possibility. And this is separate and apart from when I spoke about me looking in the book, The 3 Feet from Gold, and they talked about the courage to succeed. And in order to have the courage to succeed, you have to have the courage to start, check, and you have to have the courage to endure. Those combined together give you the courage to succeed. This, what I'm about to teach you, actually expands on that. And what I felt like when I think about the courage that I have to endure, I think about, oh, well, you know what, it's not working as I expected to. However, I have the courage to endure and I'm going to make it happen. I am going to be a success, achieve my goal. So it's kind of like counterproductive because you're still looking at, well, it's not exactly where you want it to be, yet you're still having the courage to endure, to push through every day, to take the action every day, even though there's this cloud over your head that you already know which direction it's going to go, yet you have the courage to endure because you are determined to have the courage to succeed. Okay, so what's this new possibility? Just like how I was led to that book, 3 Feet from Gold, I was led to another book the day after. And it's actually written by Wallace D. Wattles, and it was written in 1910. No, I didn't stutter. Seriously, 1910. And it's actually a trilogy, and you may have heard of the most popular one of the trilogy, which is called The Science of Getting Rich. But the other 2 books in the trilogy are The Science of Being Well and The Science of Being Great. Now, you'd think that I was led to The Science of Getting Rich because I thought that, hey, that's a popular one. That's maybe where my intuition is leading me. Zero. Totally wrong. It led me to the obscure copy of The Science of Being Great. I made a commitment a year ago that wherever my intuition leads, I will follow. I am not 100% with it, but I will say I'm about 90%, 95% most of the times. Whenever I get that whisper of intuition, I follow it, because a year ago I said, unless I start trusting my intuition, then I will always have this disconnect when I get these thoughts that, should I really go with it? Is it the right thing? So once I made that commitment that I will go with it, regardless of whether or not I think it's a good idea, yes or no, I've seen some amazing results. So this book is one of those, are you kidding me? You really want me to read this book? And it just kept on sticking in my mind that, yes, read this book. Let's just sum up me reading this book in 2 words. Holy moly. And I'm going to add 2 more. I experienced a major paradigm shift just by how Wallace D. Wattles explained how your individual point of view should be. He teaches that your individual point of view should be that everything is perfect. Everything around you is perfect. The world is perfect. Where you are right now in your life is perfect. Everything is perfect. Now, I know that you're probably clawing out of your skin right now thinking like, Karina, seriously, no, it's not perfect. You obviously don't see my bank account. You obviously don't see how much I hate going into work each day. You obviously don't see how I struggle to build my online business. How can you call it perfect? I know, I was of the same opinion. However, I gave him a chance to explain it. And once he has explained it, that's when it clicked. It made sense. Everything just shifted in on each other. When he said that everything is perfect, what he's saying is that everything in the stage that it is in right now is perfect, just not complete. So even though you think that the economy is really, really bad, people are losing their jobs, that is perfect right now. However, it's not complete and it's advancing very fast to completion. So when I looked at my challenge, my 100-day challenge, my expectations, my dreams, what I really wanted to achieve for this challenge, and I looked back at it and I thought, in this time right now, in this stage where I'm at, when I first saw this message from Wallace D. Wattles, I think it was day 86 or something like that. And I was thinking, in this stage where I'm at, in day 86, this is perfect. And once I accepted that, where I am right now, the results that I've created right now is perfect. It opened up a whole new set of possibilities for me that, hey, it's perfect and I'm advancing forward very fast to completion. And completion would be the next stage of perfection. Because think of it, nothing really remains perfect for long. It only is perfect in that moment until another stage of perfection is achieved. Think about the very, very first computer. It would fill an entire room. And at that point, it was thought of as perfect. When they finally shrunk it down to a desktop, at that point, it was considered as perfect. Then they shrunk it even further and made it into a laptop. At that point, it was perfect. Then they made it even smaller into a tablet. At that point, it was perfect. And now you have computers the size of cell phones. And at this stage we are at, it is perfect. However, you know that in the background, there's still someone trying to improve on that perfection, taking it to the next stage. So what is it that you have dealing with right now in your business that is a trial or a challenge? Are you looking at it at the point of view that this is no good, I'm not happy with it, this is not what I expected? Or are you looking at it from the point of view that the stage that this is in right now, it is perfect, and I'm going to continue advancing on fast to the next stage of completion? That is a completely different energy from looking at something as if it's not working. And that's one of the things that Wallace D. Wattles was trying to communicate in his book, The Science of Being Great. That when you look at everything as perfect, it puts you in a different frame of mind that actually makes it easier for you to work towards the next stage of completion. And that's why I'm really feeling good right now, because I realized that, you know, before I felt like, okay, this is kind of a waste of time. People were saying to me that, hey, maybe you should do something else. And I said, no, this is all about my approach and the formula that I've chosen to use. Obviously, I need to just change the formula to get the results that I seek. So when I looked back at the last 90 days, and I think, it's perfect. Now I can build on it and move on to the next stage of completion. My friends, remember you can click like on the video below, and while you're there, click subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest video as soon as it's published. In the description, you'll also find my link to the website, karinawisdom.com. Click it and you'll jump over to day 90 of the journey, where you'll see a detailed listing of exactly what I did today to move myself forward towards achieving my goal. And I did a lot. Thank you again for watching this video. This is Karina from karinawisdom.com signing off. Whoa.